Hi everyone, Leanne here from Jada Blossom, and it's time for our February 2025 challenge, Use a Stencil. Hey, so I'm using Jada Blossom's Wheelbarrow Dies Love Mail add-ons, their Random Heart stencil, their Gnome Dies Chick add-ons, their Banner Dies, Jada Blossom's Card Mat Dies, their Fancy Valentine stamp set, their Love Stacked Work die, along with Doodlebug's Love Notes 6-inch pad, the Lots of Love Odds and Ends set from Doodlebug, and their Candy Stripe and Sprinkles in the 6-inch size. So first, I have a piece of paper tray ink white cardstock that I cut out using Jada Blossom's Card Mat dies. And I'm going to be using my Wendy Becky Make Art Station and the Random Heart stencil, and I'm going to ink blend a background. So I'm first going to start with spun sugar, and I'm going to work from the outside in. And this doesn't have to be perfect, but I kind of want it to fade off the edge of the card, you know, that kind of look, where the darker color is more central. Next, I'm taking Picked Raspberry Distress Oxide ink, and I'm going to blend that. Or no, sorry, that's Kitsch Flamingo, sorry. And then Picked Raspberry is the darkest, which will be in the center. And I'm just going to add that. And then I will go back over it with the Kitsch Flamingo, just to, blend it out a bit. And then that's literally my background. Super easy and fun. Next, I have a piece of paper tray ink white cardstock cut at 4.25 by 11, scoring it at 5.5 inches with my Martha Stewart scoreboard and my Teflon bone folder. And I'm just going to reinforce that fold here in a second. There we go. I'm making a Valentine's card today. So next I have a piece of teal cardstock. This is sea glass cardstock from Doodlebug, and it's cut at 1/8 of an inch larger than an A2 size card base. Or then one eighth of an inch smaller than an A2 size card base. Sorry. It's just going to give a 1/8 inch frame to this card mat die. I'm just taking that nail sponge to get any of those little hairs that you get from the from die cutting off. So I'm adding that on. There we go. So it's kind of like a teal color. Next, I'm going to add that to my card base with some more ATG tape here. In case you've noticed, I've got a few ATG guns. I'm so lazy that I like to have them all filled. So I fill them all up. And then I have a long time before I have to fill them up again. So, So next I'm adding that A2 size card layer on, and there we go. So on the inside, I'm going to add a 1-inch strip of paper from that Love Notes 6-inch pad from Doodlebug. It's just got some, Valentine. It's got a pattern, Valentine pattern. And I'll trim off that overhang with a pair of scissors there. And next I'm going to stamp my sentiment on the inside using my MISTI. Now you'll see that I have done some stamp surgery in the past with this word, but you can put it back together and stamp it as it was meant to be. So, just be careful. You can cut your sentiments apart and use them that way. You just don't want to cut the, wreck the actual stamp. If you cut in between the words, you're golden. So now I'm going to stamp Happy Valentine's Day on the inside using VersaFine Claire Nocturne ink. This is one of my favorite sentiment sets. I love the font on this. It's just so pretty. There we go. Next, I'm going to, assemble this stacked word die. So I cut out the dies out of paper tray ink white cardstock and then again out of patterned paper from that 6-inch pad from Doodlebug. Love Notes. So this first one's got like a cloud pattern, and then this next one has like a red heart pattern. And I'm adding the white cardstock just so it makes each layer look a little bit thicker. So there we are using my Barely Art Glue and reverse tweezers. Working on a Stampin' Up pad. All my die cutting today was done with my Anna Griffin Empress machine. There we go. And I do weight it down in between. So now I'm going to add a little odds and ends. This is a little piece of ephemera from that Doodlebug Lots of Love odds and ends set. It's got a little bird holding, holding a piece of mail. That little Post-it note or sticky note is just making sure that I don't, smear that sentiment. So I went ahead and I cut this banner, and that is actually from that Wheelbarrow Dies Love Mail add-ons. So that's cut out of one of the patterns from that Love Note 6-inch pad. I'm going to add it just kind of at the bottom here. I'm going to have the little bird perching on it. There we go. So the little bird has some mail. Isn't that cute? And then next I'm going to add on the little hearts. That's from the, Wheelbarrow Love Mail add-ons. It's kind of nice. It has the 3 sizes of hearts, and these cut all at once too as well. There's a bunch of hearts in this set. So there it is. I'm just going to reapply that sticky note just to let that sentiment dry. Okay, so next we will assemble this love word die, get it all together. The loved stack word die. Excuse me, I'm yawning. Oh my goodness. So I'm just getting things lined up. And of course I've lifted it right up, but I'm just trying to get things lined up. And I do weight it down with an acrylic block just to make sure it dries nice and flat. So next I have a 1-inch strip of pattern paper, and then I've got 1 1/8 inch and 1 1/4 inch for this sea glass. And I'm just going to apply that to the front of my card base. There we go. I cut that so it's the same width as the sea glass layer. Then next I'm going to add on this red hearts that's cut 1/8 of an inch smaller in the width. And then the same thing with this white layer with the pattern from Love Notes 6-inch pad from Doodlebug. There we go. So it's like each one is framed. And then I'm going to have this love note, or this love stacked word, sort of balanced over this little strip. So I'm going to add some little foam squares to the top and bottom of this love stacked word. And then I'll add glue to the center of, and I realize I go a little bit too deep with these and I'll have to peel some off, but you live, you learn. I realize that I went a little bit too far. Nope, that's not what I want. So I'm gonna have to peel off those. I leave my boo-boos in my videos because I make a lot of them, to be honest. I'd be editing so much if I took those out and made it look like I'm perfect all the time. Okay, so I'm pulling off the backings of this foam tape here, and then we'll apply it to my card front. I'm going to add a little bit of Barely Art glue to the center as well. Here we go. I actually love making Valentine's Day cards. There's something, I love the colors, right? It's lots of fun. There we go. And now I'm going to take out a Sakura black glaze pen and add some black shine and dimension to the little bird's eyes. And then a Sakura white jelly roll pen and a number 10 to add some highlights to this bird, just for fun. Because I find that it does add a little something to your card. There we go. Adding a few more little highlights. And then I'm going to reapply that Post-it note, but on the inside of the front of the card. Next, I've got, these are cut from Doodlebug's Gnome Chick, or not Doodlebug's, Jada Blossom's Gnome Chick add-ons. And I'm decided that I cut out the little bird out of that same Doodlebug Sea Glass cardstock. And then I used sunflower cardstock for the little legs and the little beak. So you saw that I added some close to my heart white daisy ink to the belly, just for fun. And I'm going to have this little bird perching. And it's more of a bird than a chick. I'm kind of going for a bird. So That's why it's cut at a blue. Next, I did cut out these little pieces of mail with paper tray ink white cardstock and Doodlebug's candy stripe and sprinkles in this pink. And I'm going to add on the layers. There we go, just to give it a little bit more dimension. And isn't that a fun little envelope? And that is from the Wheelbarrow Dies Love Mail add-ons again. I'm going to add the little heart to seal it. There we go. And then we're going to have our little bird holding on to this mail. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to where that little letter overlaps my bird. And then I'm going to add on the little beak to make it look like the bird is holding this big piece of mail. It's kind of a big piece of mail for this little bird, but you get the gist, right? And I will weight it down with an acrylic block. And I'm going to pop this little guy up with some of those same foam squares. And I'll peel off the back. I believe these are from Scrapbook Adhesives. So they're just a little bit lower in height dimension than Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, which I also love. So I'm adding on my little bird. You saw that I added a little bit of Barely Art glue as well. So next I'm going to add a few more hearts to the front of this card. These were cut with Doodlebug's cardstock or Doodlebug's paper from their 6-inch Love Notes pad, along with paper tray ink white cardstock. Gluing them with the Barely Art glue, lining things up, and I do weight it down with an acrylic block. There we go. I'm going to add one of the hearts to the inside. Remember, these are all from that Wheelbarrow Dies Love Mail add-ons. And now I am going to pop up these little hearts on the front of this card in a visual triangle, you know, all the things. And this time I'm using Stampin' Up! Dimensionals for these. And I just think this turned out super cute. Some red, pink, and teal, right? Those colors always go great together. And now I am going to pop up this last heart, but it'll be on that, you know, on that little strip that I have. And then you get the visual triangle and all that jazz. So there you go. And isn't that fun? And I'm just going to add some black glaze to the eye detail just so you could see the eyes a little bit better. And there we go. So, oh, and I'll add, since I'm here, I'll add a little highlight with a secure white Jelly Roll pen as well. So there we go. So thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to hop on over to the Jada Blossom blog, be inspired by the team, and maybe join our challenge over at the Jada Blossom blog. Thanks everybody for watching. See you soon in my next video. Bye everybody.